just to acquaint you with the process, this was an event that occurred in the past where the Ministry of Finance and members of the board will have a board set up for the National Budget Committee that will engage institutions just to hear your view. We would like to hear about things that you have done this year, what you have planned for the rest of the year, and also we'd like to hear your plans for 2026. We did send you a CV. You should actually seal again because of the space. However, most of you sent an addendum. It is something that was not covered in the budget. So this will give you an opportunity to present those and then this is why we should consider that for inclusion in the budget. So some members of our committee are not here yet. The committee is comprised of the National Revenue Authority, Public Procurement Concession Commission, GSA, CSA, and of course the Ministry of State representing the presidency, and MFTP. MFTP serves as the chair. So I will introduce myself and the rest of the team will introduce themselves, and then we will pass the torch to the Acting Minister of Finance and Development Planning for opening remarks. So I'm Tanya Bunson. I'm the Deputy Minister for Budget and Development Planning here at the Ministry of Finance.
I'm Benjamin Kamaka, studying for the Director General of the Bureau of City Agency for Development for the month. You some other national duties here today.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tuol Investment representing the Ministry of State.
So you can introduce yourself and your team.
So the LMHRA, Liberia of Lessons and Health Regulatory Authority is here. I am the team lead. My name is Luke Bao and I'm the Managing Director. We have here our Finance and Admin Coordinator in the person of Steve Bunda. The controller is behind, they're sitting with him, Jonathan Flomo, and we also brought a programs and technical person in the person of Dr. Michael Nipe, sitting directly behind him. Thank you.
I'm Dr. Augustus Galet-Kuya, the Registrar General, Liberia Medical and Dental Council, the chairperson of the council, Dr. AOK Kasadeke. He's always welcoming. He had an urgent appointment this morning with a patient on the wall, so he couldn't just turn his back on the patient, but he told me that this morning will come. The controller, Patrick Desire, is also on his way.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Menmon P. Zeduna. I'm the Registrar General and Chief Executive Officer of the Liberia Pharmacy Board. And then accompanied by the Controller for the Pharmacy Board, who will introduce himself. Thank you.
Good morning. So my name is Shelton Ose West, the Controller of Liberia Pharmacy.
I'm Alhaji Mohammed Kamara. I represent the
My name is Roger Scott Johnson. I'm the Secretary of the Public Concession Commission.
Thank you.
Thank you very much and welcome to the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, and welcome to the 2026. I'm saying 2026 because this is for the 2026 budget, for the 2026 edition of executive budget hearings. And budget hearing are a continuous process. When we come, for example, you come to us for a meeting, whether you are meeting with the deputy minister or the assistant minister or even your analyst to discuss some budget issues, technically is a hearing. But there is a more formalized manner, format, where you have a multi-agency representation, and there's a significance behind the participation of each of the entities that sit here. So obviously, you see a member, a representation from the Ministry of State. That is a presidency, because that is the last office from which a budget will leave the executive to go to the legislature. So prior insight into what is different institutions, people who are appointed to different positions of trust, what they are thinking and what they are planning, and how aligned are those plans and thoughts with the rest agenda. Then of course you have the General Services Agency. You see, use of goods and services, there will be a lot of procurement of assets, fixed assets or durable assets, whether it's construction, whether it's vehicles or other equipment that the National Asset Registry, the GSA, more like the National Asset Registry, need to be aware of. Because they will use those that information to plan their activities, what do they expect in the coming years. Then obviously, PPCC, you have everything you spend for which you have to pay money, you have to be in compliance with the PPCC Act and the regulations. And not just the Act, not just the regulation, but the procedures and methodologies. For example, with the introduction of e-procurement and all of that. So PPCC sits on the committee to also know what are the expectations, the volume of procurement activities that will be undertaken. Then obviously the Revenue Authority and the Finance Ministry, they are more like joint twins on many issues. And the reason you see the LRA here, and also behind you there is a representative from the Tax Policy Division, Revenue and Tax Policy, because government institutions undertake various services, provide various public services for which fees are charged. So that's revenue. To the extent that that get reflected in the budget or it be accounted for on the expenditure side, that is important. So in other words, this committee was deliberately constituted to represent a broad spectrum of key policy perspective that go into preparing the budget. That's the first part. And the second point is the purpose of a budget hearing is in order to take away, to some extent, the long perspective that the Ministry of Finance is almost like what this ministry that just cut budget or that just doesn't take account of the perspective or the point of view of the spending entities. It doesn't recognize the programs that you have designed. No. This process takes away that bit. And like the Deputy Minister mentioned, this is something that went on for years. For many years. For some reason, in the most recent past, that process was done away with. That to us, we saw that it was not being honest with you who are colleagues in the budget, in the government. We just happen to be a sound dysfunction of collecting national resources and distributing them. But when it comes to determining the different development and national priorities, all of you have different responsibilities. So we need to be acquainted with what your issues are, so that when the decisions about what to give and how much of that to give, when those decisions have been taken, we will be basing it on hearing you first. And then a third point is the budget hearing is not always intended to say, okay, once we go there, we make our case, we will get the money. For some reasons, and there are multiple reasons for that. Of course, the overriding issue will always be resource availability, but also alignment with the national strategy. You may be bringing something that looks very convincing. You may be bringing an idea that are very sound and logical, but maybe if you look at the schedule of implementation for the National Development Plan, it may not be timely for 2026. Possibly it should be for 2027 or 2028. The budget hearing provides opportunity for local dialogue. That what the Deputy for Budget and Development Planning shares the secretariat. So that she say, okay, you want to do this. It's a consistent, that for example, all of you here from the health sector, it's a what the National Health Plan says for this particular activity to be done in 2026 or to be done at a later time. So the budget hearing provides a forum for that exchange of ideas. So that those of us who, for example, are not in health, we get to know what is going in the health sector, and you also get to hear from us what the national plan expects of the health sector. And then of course, this one may not be, you may not always get what you want, but it doesn't mean that at some point you will not get it. And this is linked to the previous point I made. You may ask for something to spend in 2026. Yeah, you will come to the hearing, you will present all the nice plans, but sometimes you may be getting it in 2027 or later. But the budget hearing, like I said, is a forum for us to get the idea, put it together. Or at some point during the year, maybe what you are saying now, it could become a plan B or plan C for the budget process. Okay, I see on this list Enfield, though they are not here, but all of you in the health sector, you may be, you usually, especially for you people, don't look ahead. The trajectory for maybe some crisis in the health sector, you can see it better than us. You may be making a case today, and we may not be looking ahead because we're looking in the national plan. But what during the year, it comes up to be an actual emergency. Like last year, for example, nobody anticipated monkeypox. We were hearing the fire away in other parts of Africa, but all of a sudden, it became an issue and we had to respond. So some of these things help to give people that perspective, so that when the actual issue comes up, it will not take much debate to also make the resources available. So to conclude, I would say thank you again for responding like this. And we know we are not always good at responding to your needs in full, but we hope this time around we all can see how we can do whatever we need to do to contribute to the rest agenda. As you know, we are every second that passes we are running out of time. Pretty soon we'll be talking about BDF review and then end of plan review and all of that. All these discussion and activities will contribute to that. So I want to say thank you, given the fact that the minister already announced the ORC for the ministry. I may not be with you throughout the hearing. At some point I will be in and out, but it doesn't mean that the ministry is open to you. If somebody wants to see me for anything, go directly. My office is on the 7th floor. I'll be available. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister. So we will hand it over to you. Since the two of you are here.
Well, there are three. Pharmacy, medical regulatory.
I don't know, you want to give your individual opening statement and we'll start the conversations.
So, let me take off. What I know the structure of this hearing, and we developed an elaborate PowerPoint presentation, which I feel will not be necessary at this time. We also
we have PowerPoint.
Okay.
People.
Okay, so what they're doing is we sent to him, right? So while this is going on, I will continue speaking. In this public manner, Madam Minister, let me extend my gratitude to you for the role you play, and also my brother Scott for that led to the acquisition of the concession certificate for the modernization of our quality control laboratory. We are now at the final stage getting the interministerial concession committee, that's how it is called, for them to affix their signature, and then we'll begin the physical process of the lab restructuring. So the LMHRA, while the presentation is going on, and we have two of our technical persons presenting, we have a mandate of protecting the health of the Liberian populace through ensuring that only safe and efficacious medicines and health products are in circulation in the country. Our mandate is largely preventive. And as such, within the AAID, page 164, under health sector reform, a proxy indicator is there to measure our work, which is testing, product testing. The target we have set is ambitious, but we are determined to test 95% of product in circulation by the end of 2029. And we do this protection of the health of the Liberian people by various objectives. One is setting up pharmacovigilance centers all around the country to monitor adverse effects from medication and so forth. You have been hearing the news about it. We ensure that we want to have all products circulating in the country registered, evaluated, and tracked. That is a portion that we are going to be moving on, track and trace, to ensure just that. We want to eliminate all fake and substandard product in the country. We made that determination when we spoke to the executive. Many of you, as we said previously, our mandate is still going on. We said that our mandate is largely protective, is preventive, and by so doing, we have planned to track every product that is circulated. Okay.
From what you talking with the Paradise presentation, right?
Yeah.
So that means that your colleague will opening remarks.
Okay.
So we have to repeat.
So here, so can we continue?
After the yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Again, I'm Dr. Kuya, the Registrar General of Bureau of Medical and Dental Council. Special appreciation goes to the Minister of Finance for the support you have given to us over the years, and we want to be grateful to the Deputy Minister for Budget Planning. She has been so kind and considering understanding our needs. The Medical Council was established 2010. Before it was Liberia Medical Board in the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Health thought it would be nice to have the medical board, so it's better to separate the council. And the mandate of the council is one, to set standards for health practice in the Republic of Liberia, for physicians and for health facilities, and also to give license to qualified medical doctors who have graduated from recognized institutions in Liberia and outside of Liberia. Then we are also responsible to adjudicate cases of medical malpractice, which is becoming so common. Some are alleged, some we do fact-finding, and then we put the blame where the blame is supposed to go, and we also ask for peaceful resolution in most cases. We have a lot to do, but we will wait for the government, and we will present our plan, what we plan to do, so that we can reduce some of the untimely death occurring in Liberia. Thank you.
Okay, again, my name is Dr. Melmon Duna, the registrar for the Pharmacy Board, Republic of Liberia. I want to extend my appreciation to the ministry for this forum. It's a unique opportunity to interface with the ministry authorities and to share common ideas about the various operations of the board and how it affects the overall development of the country. The Pharmacy Board is, by extension, a provider of the largest health services in Liberia. We have two sectors of health care services that are provided. The Ministry of Health provides healthcare services through the facilities, the hospital, the clinics, the health centers. Beyond that, pharmaceutical services are provided. So at the point of pharmaceutical service provision, the Pharmacy Board comes in. Pharmaceutical services focus on accessing medications through the community pharmacy across the country. The government operating structure is such that they build clinics for catchment populations. Outside the catchment populations, we can build one clinic here for 5-6 big towns. Access to that facility is a challenge for everybody, but in those towns and those communities, there are pharmacies that provide services. There where Pharmacy Board comes in. We regulate that sector. Where data shows that over 66.7% of the population access first point of contact for medication through the community pharmacy. And that is quite alarming, because if this percentage first access treatment from the community pharmacy, they can even think about reaching to the hospital, then it's important for that sector to be properly regulated to ensure that the quality of services provided are up to the standard to address the health need of the people. So our mandate is to ensure that the premise meets all with the standards, to maintain the potency of the product. After the LMHRA have certified the product, it has to maintain its potency along the line down to community pharmacy level. Other than that, the whole SSR goes in bring the drug loss to potency. The personnel that are in the premise will ensure that they have the requisite education and qualification to provide the kind of services that are needed at that level. Along the line, the other function, I will explain it later, but I just want to create this link in so that you see pharmacy board legal mandate as an extension and a critical component of the health services that that should be provided by the government to its people. So that's where we stand to regulate pharmacy practices in Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So Dr. Barr.